Hi, everyone, and welcome to One Connected Love. I'm Daniel,
I'm Christina.
and we are true twin flames in harmonious union. In today's video, we are going to discuss the power of persistence on your twin flame journey. So, if you're new to this or new to the twin flame journey, or you've been there for a while, you'll probably know that sometimes things can, get very difficult, or yeah, they get very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it doesn't matter what phase of the journey you're on, like we all come across difficult blocks, difficult challenges on our journey. Like this is definitely something that is new in consciousness in general. Like society doesn't really encourage you to like pursue a twin flame relationship, like there's a lot of encouragement to settle. And that can sometimes get really intensely, like, that dissonance can get really intense sometimes. And especially when you match that with, like, the fact that the twin flame journey is a journey about self-discovery, and it's about, like healing your blocks to love, like blocks that you've probably held, for who knows how long.
Lifetimes.
Yeah, like, you know, um, persistence becomes like the most important thing, because not giving up, not quitting, because there's a lot of momentum behind society's version of relationships, and it takes a lot of like willpower and like perseverance to really push through and follow your heart.
Right, exactly. We're so used to being conditioned to thinking, the worldview, society view of what relationships are and everything like that. And if relationships like aren't flowing in a certain way, then, people break up, people divorce. And this video isn't meant to like come against anyone that's done it. I've been in and out of relationships, like I've had breakups, I know how it goes. But the truth is that the twin flame journey is real. The twin flame journey, like you can be with your twin flame. It does require persistence on your part and commitment on your part. And when we talk about persistence and commitment, it has nothing to do so much with your twin flame in the physical. It really has to do with persistence and commitment for yourself, right? And when push comes to shove, or situations get hairy, then you don't give up. You don't give up on yourself. And yeah, what do you want to say? Like, is there anything that you've experienced?
Well, first I wanted to say that like the twin flame journey is primarily one of self-love, right? Self-love and self-discovery. And so yeah, when you're focusing on another person as at like the crux of your, if your whole journey is driven by how another person is behaving, or like, like how they're treating you, etc., that's a very shaky foundation to base your your journey upon, right? And that's how everybody starts out on the journey, right? Like you usually start out like there's a false twin flame or your twin flame, and you're interested in them, and you just want, everything is about like how can I get them to notice me, etc. Over time, hopefully you switch gears and really like go deeper and recognize that this is all about you being comfortable with yourself and loving yourself and respecting yourself. And that's when things really start to shift. And we've noticed, like with our clients, that a lot of people will really hit these hard roadblocks in their journey when they make the journey about someone else.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because when you make the journey about someone else, you're really giving an excuse, right? It's an excuse to not love yourself. It's like taking the attention off of yourself and putting it on someone else.
Right.
And with the expectation of them giving you something to fulfill like this need inside of you.
Right.
But the reality is that you can give that to yourself at any time, and by doing so, that speeds up your spiritual journey, right? But sometimes also, yeah, there are deep wounds or deep upsets that
Mm-hmm.
need to be healed, and persistence is needed through these because
Right.
in many cases you're working through layers of an upset,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah, go ahead.
Why do you work through layers? Why is that? Why can't, why isn't it always that you can just go straight to the core? I mean, you could,
You could.
but why is it like more common for things to appear in layers?
Well, I think it's more compassionate, for
Mm-hmm.
one. If you went straight to the core of an upset that you had been holding on to energetically for lifetimes, right? And it's like this pattern that's been ingrained. You certainly can go
It takes
to
a
it.
lot of like spiritual discipline to work up to that point where
Yeah,
you and then like it can be very easy to let go of
to just
something
let it
you've
go.
held on forever, but um, you have to be willing to do that.
Right.
And it takes spiritual discipline that you must develop.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens with most people, especially like as you're starting out, is that you'll work through upsets in layers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get better and better, and you can
Mm-hmm.
work through the layers faster and faster. And the more mastered you get in that area, then yeah, you can start going straight to the core of an upset,
Yeah.
and working on that. But yeah, so like Christina said, when you're starting out, we use, as you may have heard, the mirror exercise.
Right.
When you're first starting out, it's good to have like a coach.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have someone help you, right? Because sometimes these upsets can seem insurmountable,
Right.
but that's all a lie. Like
Mhm.
that's all an ego
There's
lie.
nothing you can't.
Right. There's
Yeah.
nothing you can't accomplish if
Mhm.
if you keep persisting, you're gonna get there.
Right.
And don't listen to that voice that tells you you're worthless or you're stupid or you can't do it or you're powerless or you're weak.
Right.
Like don't listen to that voice because that's not love.
Right.
Yeah, so persistence is extremely powerful. One, the power of your choice. The power of your choice, it's extremely powerful. You create your own reality.
It's all there is.
Yeah, exactly. And you are unstoppable with persistence.
Right.
It doesn't matter how long it takes because you will get there. It can be fast, it can be long, and that's fine. Whatever's comfortable for you, just so long as you keep going.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think I want to just also make clear, like why you're even beating the, working through these blocks to love, is because, your twin flame union is a divine relationship, right? And so you can only really like get there and sustain it from a place of peace. And there's a certain like foundation of peace that you require in order to really like sustain the vibration. Otherwise, what ends up happening is like what people, like term the runner chaser dynamic, which is an illusion. It's basically like you get close and you run away because you can't handle being around each other because you like, you show each other your blocks and it's too triggering. Right. And so the purpose of working through these blocks to love is so that you can have a really firm foundation of peace within yourself. And so from that foundation of peace, you can then sustain, harmonious union with your twin flame. And from there,
Deepen
you'll
the
continue to
relationship.
deepen and deepen in peace.
Into
right?
ascension.
Right. Etc. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so, so the reason that, it's really important to persist through these blocks is it's not just about like being with the person you want to be with, but it's also because you're going to improve your life and your quality of life as you work through these blocks. Like your motivation ultimately has to shift from wanting to be with this person to wanting to feel peaceful and be happy and be with God.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from that feeling of peace and joy and harmony within, you're making different choices. And when you make different choices that you wouldn't have made in your previous life, then with those choices brings abundance, brings
security.
It shifts your entire perception of the world, and because that perception has changed, you make different choices, right?
Right, and better relationships. Like something that I found on my twin flame journey, like as I was healing blocks to love, is that A lot of relationships fell away, and like the relationships that I did have in my life, like really deepened.
Yeah.
And relationships improved, and yeah, I was really able to like engage with the people in my reality in a much more genuine and loving way. And that was all from my inner work.
Right. And you also begin to see relationships a lot clearer too, and see, which relationships have value and which relationships are just like taking, right? And which ones are healthy and which ones, which ones give and help you expand and grow.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that pretty much covers it.
Right. Yeah. Like the reason to persist is because you love yourself. And if you don't love yourself yet, persist because it's going to make your life better.
Yes.
Yeah.
You will keep going and you will feel better. Your life will be better. Don't listen to those other voices that say otherwise. And it's not about fate. It has nothing to do with like someday in the far future, the cards are gonna turn in my favor or whatever. No, it's like do it now. Do it now. You can do it.
Yeah.
And so if you liked this video, like and subscribe to our channel, and check out the links below for our website, oneconnectedlove.com. At our website, we do offer services for private twin flame coaching and private card readings. So if you're interested, check us out. Also, we will have some more interesting videos coming out in the future. And until then, take care, and we'll see you then.